Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you, students? I hope you are fine. Students, this is going to be another series of lectures on online classes for the students of class 7. Okay, in this lecture, students, I am going to teach you problems that relates time and work. So let's get started with time and work. By the way, you should see my lectures serially. Well, this is lecture number 1 in this second series of lectures. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, to get things started, we first know some rules, and I mention them as general rules. Okay, so these rules are: suppose if a person A can finish a work in n days. Okay, if a person can finish a work in n days, then work done by A in one day is 1 by nth part of the whole work. Okay, so visualize this thing. That means if you need 3 days to complete the whole work, or one part of the work, that means 3 days to complete one work by unitary method, that means for one day you will get 1/3 part of the work. Okay, that means suppose those of you who are not understanding that last line, say for example, you can do a work in 2 days, right? So you can 2 days, in 2 days you can complete 100% of that work. That means in one day you can complete 50% of that work. That means in one day you can complete 1 by 2 part of the whole work. That's how it actually goes. So I mentioned here, if you need 3 days to complete the whole work or one part of the work, your one day work is 1 by 3 part of the whole work. So keep this in mind, as I'm going to use this criteria all over the lecture. Okay, now the second general rule is, suppose that the work done by A in one day is 1 over n, just like the previous rule. The work done by A is 1 by n part of the work. So if this happens, then we can easily say that time taken by A to finish the whole work equals to n. That means the rule 2, the general rule 2, is nothing but the opposite of the first one, right? Nothing complicated. So let us see these things into action in our subsequent slides. Okay, so we first we start this lecture with question number 21 from your textbook, and to textbook 2.3. Okay, Lily can do a work in 10 hours and Millie can do the same work in 8 hours. In how many hours can Lily and Millie together complete the work? Okay, so the first let us see the capability of Miss Lily. So Lily can do it in 10 hours. That means in 10 hours Lily can complete the whole work. So in 1 hour Lily can complete 1 by 10th part of the whole work, as the general rule suggests. Okay, you can see that Lily and Millie can do a piece of work in 10 hours and 8 hours respectively, right? So Lily's 1 hour work is 1 divided by 10 part, as Lily can do it in 10 hours. In 10 hours Lily can do one part, so in 1 hour Lily can do 1 by 10th part, right? So and Millie, for 8 hours she can do one part, so in 1 hour she can do 1 by 8 part, right? Okay, now Lily plus Millie's 1 hour work is 1 over 10 plus 1 over 8, and it is 9 over 40 part, right? Because their 1 hour work is 9 divided by 40, and as the general rules suggest, they both can complete the work in 40 divided by 9 hours. Okay, so 9 by 40 part is done in 1 hour, so one part is done in 1 divided by 9 by 40. That means 40 divided by 9. Oh, it's I think there is a mistake. It should be hours. So 40 divided by 9 hour. It would be 40 divided by 9 hour. It is a little bit mistake. So extremely sorry for that. So it should be hour, not day. 40 divided by 9 day. So this is actually the complete procedure of solving this type of maths. That means in these kinds of maths, you just, what you need to do is you need to find the 1 hour work and then you are done. Okay, so let us see our next problem. Chopin can do a work in 24 days. Ratan can do that work for 16 days. In how many days can Chopin and Ratan together finish the work? Okay, this is problem number 12 from your textbook. Okay, Chopin can do it in 24 days. So let us see Chopin's capability first. So Chopin's one day work is 1 divided by 24 part, and Ratan's one day work is 1 divided by 16 part, because for 16 days he can complete one work. So for one day actually he can complete 1 divided by 16 part, right? So the question is, in how many days can Chopin and Ratan together finish the work? So the question actually asks us that find the capability of Chopin and Ratan. So we must add them. Chopin plus Ratan's one day work is 1 divided by 24 plus 1 divided by 16, and it is 5 divided by 48, as you can see. Yeah, it is 5 divided by 48. Okay, now 5 divided by 40 part is done in one day. That means one part is done in 48 divided by 5 day. Those of you who do not want to choose the second part, that means 5 divided by 48 part in one day and one part in 48 divided by 5 day. Okay, those of you who are not or unwilling to do that one, so what you can do, you can actually just directly write it from that line. So 5 divided by 48 to 48 divided by 5 days. Okay, that would suffice, and there will be nothing wrong with it, because you know that if you are doing in one day the 1 by nth part, that means for n day you can complete the whole work. Okay, okay students, let us see our next problem in this row. A and B can do a piece of work in 15 days, while B alone can finish it in 20 days. In how many days can A alone finish the work? Well, I have taken this problem from another book, not from your book. Well, that doesn't mean that this math is complicated. It is so basic, but it is not in your textbook. So keep a close attention on this math. Okay. Okay. Time taken by A plus B to finish the work is 15 days. That means A and B can complete the work in 15 days. So as you can see, in one day A and B can do it 1 by 15. Okay, time taken by B alone to finish the work is 20 days. B alone, and we need to find the time taken by A alone to finish the work. Okay, so A plus B's one day work is 1 divided by 15 part, because in 15 days they complete one work, and one day they complete 1 divided by 15 part. Similarly, from the second line in the solution part, so B's wonder work is 1 divided by 20, because in 20 days we can complete one part, in one day we can complete 1 by 20. So on your left, that 1 divided by 15 is A plus B's wonder work, and that 1 divided by 20 is B's wonder work. So we just want to know what is the A's wonder work. So if I subtract that 1 divided by 20 from 1 divided by 15, that would be A's wonder work, because this one on my left is A plus B's wonder work, and on my right is B's wonder work. So let us subtract A plus B's wonder work and B's wonder work, and that will be our A's one day work. So A's wonder work equal to A plus B's wonder work minus B's wonder work, and you know that A plus B's wonder work is 1 divided by 15 and B's wonder work is 1 divided by 20, and that is actually 1 divided by 60. And so from that line 1 divided by 60, we can easily say that A can complete the whole work in 60 days, because that 1 divided by 60 is A's one day work, right? So if you have one day work, then you can easily say that you can finish it in 60 days. Okay. Now those of you who are not understanding, you can do the unitary one, like 1 by 60 part is done in one day, so one part is done in 1 divided by 1 by 60 equals to 60 days. Well, that's actually works nice. You can do either of the two. Okay, let us go for the next problem. Okay, this problem is from your textbook. A and B together can do a work in 16 days, B and C together can do it in 12 days, and A and C together can do it in 20 days. In how many days can A, B and C finish the work? Okay, so there is the capability of A plus B's, so capability of B plus C's and capability of A plus C's is given, and we need to find the capability of A plus B plus C. That's the math is telling us, right? So let us see the math into action. Okay, so here is A plus B's one-day work is 1 over 16 part, because in 16 days A and B can complete the work. In one day they can complete 1 divided by 16 part. Okay, so in a similar way, B plus C's one-day work is 1 over 12 and A plus C's one-day work is 1 over 20, because A plus C can complete the work in 20 days. That means in 20 days they can complete the work. In one day they can complete 1 by 20 portion of the work. Okay, so on adding these three, you can see that there is actually an A, and on the last line there is another A. That means we have two A's, and A plus B and B plus C. That means we have two B's and we have two C's. That is why I have taken out the 2. 2 times A plus B plus C's one-day work equal to addition of the right side. That means 1 divided by 16 plus 1 divided by 12 plus 1 divided by 20, and it is actually 47 divided by 240. So it is 2 times A plus B plus C's one-day work, not A plus B plus C's one-day work. We need to do some more. And A plus B plus C's one-day work is actually 47 divided by 240. We need to divide it by 2. Okay, it is 47 divided by 480 part. So as you have one-day work, you can easily say they just reversed it. 480 divided by 47 days are required to complete the whole work for A plus B plus C. Okay, what I have done here, so 47 over 480 part of the work is done by A plus B plus C in one day. So one part of the whole work is done in 480 over 47, that means 10, and 10 over 47 days. That is the math. Okay, that completes our problem. So let us see our next problem in this row. Okay. Oh, by the way, there is actually a homework regarding this problem. In how many days A alone can finish the whole work? Can you find it? Okay, students, in how many days A alone can finish the work? This is your homework, and the process of sending your homeworks to me is every Thursday night you can send your homeworks to me through my WhatsApp number from 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Thursday night. Please do not call me, but you can send me your homeworks in my WhatsApp account. And as you all have my WhatsApp number, you can easily send it to me. You can find the those of you who do not have my WhatsApp number, you can collect the WhatsApp number from the routine. Okay, from the routine. Okay. Okay, well, Habiba and Halima can do a work in 20 days. By the way, first I want to mention to you, well, I'm going to set a homework regarding this problem, but I will solve this problem step by step, and then I'm gonna add something more with this problem, and it will be your homework, and that homework will be very important for your coming exams. Okay, so Habiba and Halima can do a work in 20 days. They were working together, but after 6 days Habiba left the work. Okay, that's cool. Halima finished the rest of the work in 21 days. I mean, after 6 days, and Halima then, after 21 days, it is for Halima to finish the work. For how many days would Halima need to complete the whole work? Okay, for how many days would Halima need to complete the whole work? Well, the question is asking us to find the capability of Halima. So let us see this. Habiba plus Halima's one day work is 1 divided by 20, because Habiba and Halima can finish it in 20 days. That means one day work is 1 over 20 part. So Habiba plus Halima 6 day work, because for 6 days they were together, right? So 1 over 20 times 60, that means 6 over 20 is actually 3 over 10, right? Habiba plus Halima 6 day work, for 6 days they were together, and after 6 day Habiba left the work. So first find the remaining work. The remaining work is 1 minus 3 over 10, that means 7 over 10 part. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now 7 over 10 part of the work is done by Halima in 21 days, right? Because the rest of that work, that means 7 by 10 part, is done by Halima in 21 days. So we were actually asked the capability of Halima. So for one part, or the whole work of is done by Halima in 21 divided by 7 times 10 days, that means in 30 days. Okay, that means for Halima it is actually 30 days to complete the whole work. Now what is the homework in this case? Like this one, in how many days Habiba alone can do the whole work? Can you find it? If you can find it, you can send me your WhatsApp document in my WhatsApp number. Okay, this one is very important for your coming exams, and you all know the importance of video lectures for your exam, right? Okay. Okay. Well, this is another type of math on time and work. So I want you to have a close attention, because I have set another homework on this math too. 30 workers can build a house in 20 days. 10 days after beginning the work, it was stopped for 6 days due to bad weather. How many extra workers will be required to finish the work on time? It's a tremendously important math, another one. So, okay, without for solving this math, we need to actually understand some things, like one person can do it in 2 days, then two persons can do it in 1 day. uh, how much do you understand that statement? Okay, okay, let me actually explain this to you one more time. If one person can do it in 2 days, say for example for myself, I'm working and I can do a work in 3 days. Say for example, I can do a complete work in 3 days. That means one person can complete the work in 3 days. So instead of one person, if I appoint 3 person, then I can actually complete that work in 1 day. Okay, that means if a person can do it in 2 days, that means 2 person can do it in 1 day. Okay, I think you got that one. That means 30 workers can build a work in 20 days. Look that line with a very careful attention. 30 workers can do it in 20 days. Okay, look, 30 workers can build a house in 20 days. That actually means that 30 times 20 equal to 600 workers can build a house in 1 day. See for yourself if you understand this one or not. So those of you who are not understanding that line, well, you need to understand that line to solve these kind of maths. So let me explain this to you one more time. Say for example, I can do a work in say for example 4 hours. I can do a a problem or a work in 4 hours. That means if I appoint another one with the same capability as I have, that means we two can do it in 2 hours. That means if I can do a work in 3 days, that means three men with the same capability of me, that means three men can do it in 1 day. One man 3 days, that means three men 1 day. Okay, that means 30 workers can build a house in 20 days. That means if I increase the number of workers, then it would be 30 times 20 workers can do it in 1 day. That is the problem. Okay, now one workers 1 day work equal to 1 divided by 600 part. So 30 workers 1 day part equal to 1 divided by 20 part. Okay, as you can see that 10 days after beginning the work, so actually for 10 days 30 workers worked. So we need to find the work for 30 workers on 10 days. Okay, so 30 workers 10 day work is actually 1 divided by 2 part. Now After 10 days after beginning the work, it was stopped for 6 days, right? It was stopped for 6 days. Our next slide. So remaining work is actually 1 divided by 2 part, and remaining days are 20 minus 10 days actually what, and 6 days actually it was stopped. So 10 plus 6, we need to subtract 10 plus 6 from 20. That means we have actually 4 days to complete 1 by 2 part, or 50% of the work. Okay. In 10 days, 1 by 2 part of the work can be done by 30 workers. Well, where did we actually get that one? We actually got that one from the previous slide. In 10 days, 1 by 2 part of the work can be done in 30 workers. So, in 1 day, 1 by 2 part can be done by 30 plus 10 workers. Well, please do not divide 10 this time, right? Well, 30 times 10 it would be, because in 1 day, if you want to, you are completing the work in 10 days, and if you want to complete it in 1 day, then you are going to need to have more workers, so you need to multiply this time. So do not divide it, because you need more workers if you want to complete the total work in 1 day. So in 4 days, 1 by 2 portion, because the remaining work is actually 1 by 2 portion, 1 by 2 portion of the work can be done by 30 times 10 divided by 4 workers. That means 75 workers. Well, this time you need to divide, because the previous line was in 1 day, and you are on 4 days, so you are having much time, so you are going to need less workers. So that is why I actually divided this time, not multiplying. So 75 workers. So the number of additional workers is 75 minus 30 equals to 45, because initially we had 30 workers. That completes the problem, 45 workers. And this is a beautiful problem, actually much complicated other than the previous. So there is actually a homework, not one but two homeworks for you, and don't worry about the homeworks. I'm going to solve these homeworks in the subsequent lectures, because homeworks are always important for your exams. So see you for the next lecture. Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.